Hi, good afternoon, and welcome to THFC Till I Die, your home of Tottenham, past, present, and future. And we start the show on a good win from yesterday. It wasn't the best game of football I've ever seen in my life, to be honest, but 3 points are 3 points. And it was a good win to get back on the winning road and get a clean sheet as well. So, what I'm going to do, I'm going to go through the lineup, the team, and give my ratings, and then just talk a bit about our next few games ahead, and also what we have to do to qualify from Europe. Firstly, I want to apologise for earlier on. I had some tech issues, so that's why the stream is now coming out now instead of at 1 o'clock. So, thank you all for being understanding and popping back in as I go live. So, thank you very much. Yes, see a few people in the chat. We have Swim Master who says win, but 1-0 only. Just prior potential wins dropped so many times. We are now playing for Europe or Conference instead of Champions League. I'd rather a year off and try to get the domestic right first. Do you know what? I actually agree with you on that. I don't think we've earned the right to get into Europe this year, especially the Champions League. If we have earned any European football, I think we deserve Conference League football at least. But with the win yesterday, with Villa losing, it's thrown the race for the Europa League wide open. And next week, next game, next week will be important against Villa. It'll be do and die for us. If we lose next week against Villa, then I think we are going to struggle to get into any sort of European football. But a win, if we win, then yeah, I think Europa is there for the taking, but I don't think we've earned it. I think we've been too inconsistent this season. I know not a lot of people can agree with me on this, and everyone's entitled to their opinion. But that's my thought on it. But big up Swim Master, and he also says, I don't want Arsenal Woolwich singing "I Want a Night." Those nights for us were great. I don't want it reversed against us. Let's get a new manager, new players, concentrate on domestic new season. Yeah, 100%. Ellie says the positives were much better organised at the back without Dermotron, but we need to move the ball quicker and have a smoother transition from defence to midfield to attack. But we were too slow. I don't think we were too slow yesterday. I thought, okay, the game wasn't the best game in the world, but I thought we were a lot better than we have been. And I really do. I think it was brilliant. I think a win is a win, and it puts us in a good stead for the Villa game. And my computer's frozen again. I don't know if everyone can hear me, but I think my computer has frozen. So I'm going to have to look. Yeah, I am back. Sorry, the computer decided to freeze on me for some reason. I don't know why. I'm just ready paid off with it at the moment. Brian Maguire, Levy and Enoch get out of our club. Yeah, I think that seems to be a massive thing. But look, as long as it's done right, as long as it's done respectively, and that's all we look. Look, I'm gonna have been saying this. All I want is for us to be successful. Now, it's all right protesting, but they want budging to get the money for the club they want to. We have to be realistic on that, but we can make them presence felt that they have to change how to do things, and that's what it's all about. But big up Brian anyway. Brian says a win's a win. Yeah, exactly. Mia, yeah, very funny. Sorry. Listen, if we make it, then we've earned it. I don't think we have earned it. I don't think we've been consistent enough this season. That's just my opinion. I think everyone's entitled to their opinion. I think everyone's entitled to their opinion. That's my opinion. We do not deserve Champions League football, and that's gone out the window. So I'd rather miss out on European football altogether for next season and just start afresh. That's my opinion. But big up Mia, thank you for popping in. Ellie says top six is Europa, I believe seven's conference. Yes, it is, Ellie. That is the way it is in the league. Mia says, listen, if Liverpool make it, they have earned it. They've been crap this season. Yeah, I just don't think we've earned it. That's just my opinion, Mia. I'm sorry. I know you have a different opinion to me, but my opinion is we have not earned Champions League football, which we're not going to get because we're well out of that race. And I think a season out of Europe might do us more good than anything. It'll give us time to concentrate on the League Cup and the FA Cup, reorganise, and more time in the training pitch with these players, with the new manager, with new players coming in, and get it right, and then put in for a big performance to get it back into the Champions League next season. That's just my opinion. But if we do get in there, especially like the Conference League, I think we need to go win it and win it. There's no point going into Europe and not having the intention of winning the damn thing. So if we get into the Europa League, there's Champions League if you win that. If you win the Europa League, you get into the Champions League. So that's two ways of getting into the Champions League next season. Or if we get into the Conference League, let's win the European trophy. We can win it. Brian Maguire, I don't want us in Europe and give the manager a rebuild the team. Yeah, that's a fair point as well. Daniela, congratulations on Leyton Orient winning the League 2 championship and getting promoted to League 1. So congratulations. 6 is the highest we can finish, in my opinion. United and Liverpool are battling for 4th and 5th. Yeah, I think so. I'm not saying we are going for 4th because we're not getting anywhere near that. We're not. We're really not. Ellie says, just my opinion, as we are too deliberate, hold on to the ball, we don't move it quick enough. Well, I saw it a little bit different, but as you as the next footballer, Ellie, I would take your opinion on it as always, and respect your opinion as always. Brian Maguire, there are people who want to buy Man United as a Spurs fan. If the bed fails, why not buy Spurs? That could happen. He could turn around and buy us, but the bid he put into United was he would buy United but leave the Glazers in charge. So that bid was going nowhere. So that is yeah, he could do, and I hope he does. But look, you'll have to see what happens. We're ready to. Mia, but my point is, if Liverpool they have earned it. I want European more comps, win more chance. I don't agree with that, Mia. I'm sorry. I think next season, I don't think we've earned European football. The way we've played this season, the way we've thrown away games, I don't agree with that. My opinion is, I think a season out of Europe would do us more good than anything. Give us time to rebuild the team. Give us time, more work on the training pitch, and the players are not overworked, if you know what I mean. Give the time, get the formation right, get the tactics right. That is the best thing. And I think it'd be good for us. But look, that's your opinion. I respect your opinion. I get what you're getting at. I do understand what you're getting at. Liverpool have been crap this season. I think the whole Premier League's been turned on its head. Because of the World Cup and everything. So yeah, I understand what you're saying, but I don't think we should. I think a season out Europe next season be probably better for us than anything else. Derek Smith 2 years ago, maybe Levy out. Now I don't think so. Scott Munn is taking over the football side of Spurs. New director of football, manager incoming, stadium bringing in cash. Now it's time to support Levy, in my opinion. That's a brave one. That's a brave opinion. I can understand what you're getting at. Look, if he leaves the football side to Scott Munn, then fine. Leave it to him. Just concentrate on the business side, which you're very good at, Mr. Levy. If you start interfering, which you have been doing, this is the mess you've created. So I think you need to leave it. If Scott Munn's coming in to take over the football side of Tottenham, leave it to him. Let him make decisions. You just do what you're good at. Do the business sign the checks. Now, Derek has got a very opinion, which, fair play to you for making the opinion. And I see what you're getting at. So, Look, we have to wait and see what happens, don't we? And we'll take it from there. But big up Derek Smith. Thank you for coming in. Andrew Gregory, good afternoon, Dermot. 3 points, a clean sheet. Dyer having his best game of the season. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I'm going to get through that in a minute as well. Daniela, thanks. Up the O's. Last game of the season tomorrow versus Bradford away. Yeah. And that's it. Up to the championship you go. Who knows? Premier League the year after. Dragging these nuts, not being in Europe gives Levy an excuse not to spend on new players. I don't actually agree with that. I really don't. Look, I why I'm saying no Europe is because I think for next season it would do us a lot of good not to be in Europe, just to concentrate on the domestic leagues, just to get it right. And I think one season out of Europe is not going to be in the grand scheme of things. I don't think it's going to be a bad thing. But look, that's my opinion, and we have to wait and see what happens on that. But you cannot keep going on the way we're going on. This season has been atrocious. You know, we've gone through. We've had Conte out. We've had Stellini out. Now we've got Mason in charge. We've lost 6-1. Players not bothering, then turning up, then not turning up. You know, and my opinion is you've got to earn. You've got to earn to go into any European competition. And the way we've played this season and the way we've acted this season, these players do not deserve anything. They've for performances like Newcastle away, the first 20 minutes against or 15 minutes against Liverpool, the 2 defeats against the old enemy down the road. They don't deserve it. And we need to next season start afresh. We really, really do. Andrew said, there's no point us getting Champions League when we don't buy Champions League players. Yeah, you could argue that as well. You could really argue that as well. Buy Maguire, if Levy and Enoch stay, we will go backwards. Well, I think on the business side of it, we've moved really football. Yeah, on the football side of it, I agree, we have gone backwards. This season, we've gone backwards. But look, we got to, if you want to protest, but do it respectfully. Look, United have protested against the Glazers for over 20-something years, and they're still there. Newcastle protested against Mike Ashley, and he was still there. These owners will go when they get the money they want. And that bucks down to that. You can make it uncomfortable for them. You can make them realize that, hang on, you can make as much noise, sing Levy out the stadium so he hears it. Yeah, that's great. You can do all them things. But they're not going to wake up one morning and say, oh, I can't stand these protests, I'm going out of here. They will go when they get the right money. So we'll have to see what happens on that. Adrian Lawrence, apparently company has signed a new deal with Burnley. Yeah, I did hear that as well. Daniela Zito, we don't deserve any sort of European football. We have played some shambolic football this season. Example, Newcastle away, Liverpool away, Southampton away, and Villa at home. Exactly. That's my point. That is exactly my point. We don't deserve, because we have played shambolic football this season. We really, really have. We have players not caring, players not giving a shit. And it's landed us in that we had top 4 in our hand, in our grasp. Top 4 in our grasp. If we had beaten Newcastle, we've been in that race. But again, we decided not to show up for the first 20 minutes. And that's down on the players. That's not down on Levy or Enoch or Stellini. It's down on them players. When they cross that white line, it's down to them to put in the performance, and they didn't put in the performance. Yesterday, we had a back 4 of Emerson, Romero, Longley, Davis. And Romero was immense yesterday. Romero was my man of the match yesterday. He was immense. So was Emerson. Longley had a great game. Foster didn't have a lot to do for the whole game. I'll go through my team in a minute, but that's the foundations we need to build on for next season to get back to where we deserve to be. Bob Besher, breaking news. Vincent Kompany has signed a 5-year contract extension with Burnley. I think that's the right thing for him. I think he can learn his trade at Burnley, and good luck to them. And it'd be nice to see him back in the Premier League next season. Stephen Thomas, no to Europe, rather build without any midweek games. Leave it out exactly. There are two sides. There are two sides. There are two sides to this European question. Both valid. Yeah, they are both valid. Absolutely both valid. Daniel's big up. Yeah, Mia. I do understand what you're saying. I do understand what you're saying. I, as Ellie said, there's two sides to this argument, and I do get what you're saying, and I respect your opinion. I really do. I just have a slightly different view in it. But what you're saying is right, also. So, it's a hard one, but that's just my own opinion. But big up Mia, and everyone, please get over to Spurs Between the Lines and hit that like button for Mia. She does great work over there, and she's the jewel in the Spurs community crown. She really is. She's a lovely person as well on top of that. So, big up Mia. Wayne Bonner, big up. He says, "What's up, everyone? Hope you're all having a good Sunday." Yeah, we're having a cool Sunday. Daniela Zito, 100% agree with you, Dermot. Wayne Bonner, he's here. Oh, here is the slacker. I'm with you, Dermot. Rob Belcher, I'm with you, Dermot. A European free season, playing once a week. Let's see. Exactly. Absolutely. Let's see. Derek Smith, I don't blame Company for doing so. Burnley is his team at the moment, and he wants to take them into the Premier. Yeah, well, I think it's the right thing for him. I really, really do. Daniel Sandoval, afternoon to all, big up. Afternoon to all, big up, one love, big up. Brian says Levy loves being in control and won't change. Scott Munn will be someone to blame for his mistakes. We have to wait and see. What can I say, Mia? My phone doesn't like me today. Pick up, Wayne. Joe said, how were the protests yesterday? Do you know what? I don't know. I'm living in Ireland. I don't know what's going on. I'm not in contact with anyone with the protest either. So I do not know. I can't answer that. So I'll try to find out for you, but I don't know. I went to the game with my son, so I didn't get down to it just before kick-up, so I didn't stop by. Fair play to you. Hope you had a lovely day with your son. Mia, Wayne Bonner, you need your okay, yeah, all right. Got Daniel, thanks, Mia. The O's need investment. It will be a tough in League One, but we'll get investment as Orange have brilliant owners. Yeah, brilliant. Brian Maguire, purple and gold to the club is sold. Yeah, thank you very much indeed for supporting the Wexford Tourism Board and also the Tottenham protest protest thing as well. So big up there. We've got David Clark. Big up, David. He says, hi from Scorching Leicester. Sorry, but Dyer is back because Longley is injured. Just our luck. Yeah, I think he discolated his shoulder. I think that was the injury. I'm still trying to find out. But we'll let you know. Dragon D's nuts will finish where we deserve to finish. Yeah, that's true. That's so true as well. Ellie said it's been very embarrassing, Dermot, but we've had a few positives like Bentacore before he got injured. Little Pyro is coming into his own. Kane banging him in. Emerson, improve if you can improve. Emerson for me was impressive yesterday. I have to really say. And there's Mia's link. So please, everyone, please hit on that link for Mia, but do it here first. He's abusing my powers. Oh, okay. I don't know what that's about. I wonder how Ryan's squatting is going. I know. I did see that yesterday. Daniela, apologies, was thinking the Owls. Orient, of course, my local team, crown champions in League One today. So I've had a happy weekend. Big up, Derek. Thank you for getting it there. Big head, everyone. Make sure you smash that like button. Thank you very much, Mia. Ellie, I did a poll on Twitter. Who's our worst defender? I got 59%, a vote of Sanchez 35. How many was in that vote, Ellie? Let me know how many people actually voted in your vote yesterday. It'd be very interesting to know that. Corey Boy, Dyer is crap, and we'll give him a new contract. We don't know if we are giving him a new contract. It's all been quiet on that front, so we have to wait and see. Wayne Bonner, I'm still waiting for the proof that Dyer's actually a defender. He's not a defender. He really isn't a defender. He's a cone. He's a traffic cone in disguise. That's what he is, Wayne. And Adrian Lawrence, a season out Europe sounds okay to some people, but we now have Newcastle and possibly Villa entering the mix for top four. There is no guarantee we can get back into Champions League. Look, each season comes up with new pitfalls and new ups and downs. Newcastle now will have now got an expectation now to build on what they've done this season. Now, will the owners put money into it? Probably they will. They probably will blow everyone out the transfer window. But like at Chelsea, you could buy all the best players in the world, and it doesn't gel. It doesn't gel. So we have to see what happens to Newcastle. Newcastle going to be very, 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 very interesting. Very interesting today. David Clark, man of the match, VO for not killing us exactly. And why not get Mia on the show? Mia's got, because I wanted to do a solo show. But if you want Mia on, the demand is there. I'll invite her. Okay, fine. Give me 2 minutes. And Brian, if I'm not class, then sorry. I apologize. Hang on. Let me just do that for you. Right. There you go. The link's been sent to you, Mia. So let's get on. Yeah, the link's been sent to you, Mia. Okay, so you can come on if you want. Afternoon, Dermot. I was at the protest yesterday. It was great to meet Ben and Ryan. Unfortunately, a combination of rain, sickness, Brian Dagon, and work failures kept numbers down, but purple and gold. Well, there you go. I think Joe was asking, so thank you for letting me know. Dyer isn't mobile enough to be a traffic guy. He's not. Yeah, exactly. No, Mia, do come on. The link's been sent to you. Come on. Anyway, please. Let's get you on. Hit that link, Mia, and come on. We've got Lily White Lane. Big up Lily, like he says. Big up Dermot. Big up Lily White Lane. And Rob Belcher. Spurs between lines. 1 subscriber shy of 350. Let's get a date. Yeah, somebody in this chat, please get her there. Right. Let's crack on. Right. The link's been sent to Mia. What I'll do is might put the link in the chat as well. There you go. If anyone wants to pop on and have you say about yesterday's game, do so. Right, let's crack on. Right, this is the team from yesterday. It was Forrest in goal, Emerson, Romero, Longley Davis, Parro, Højbjerg, Skipson, Richarlison, Kane up front. Now, I'm going to go through my starting 11, give them all a rating, and put in the chat what you think in the chat there. For me, Foster in goal, he'll get a 7 for me. Didn't have to do anything. Really didn't do much. Really was commanding in his area. So I thought he gets a 7. Hang on, here's Omi has just popped in. Now, Emerson, for me, I'll give him an 8. I thought very well defended. Had a good game. Really came back well. First game back, and for me, really improved on that performance. Romero, for me, man of the match. 9 out of 10 for me. Was absolutely immense yesterday. Absolutely immense. Brilliant as a really calm, collective. Was cool as a cucumber. Really, really well done. Longley, for me, I'll give him a 7. I'll give him an 8, actually. I thought he was very good in defense yesterday. Combined well with Romero. Really were a solid back two. And it shows playing the back. If you get a good back two, it shows you if you play a back four, we can do it. Davis, for me, I thought Davis had a good game. He's not going to, I don't want him there next season. But I think for yesterday, I thought he was very competitive. Very done well, very competent on his job, and had a good game. Mia, what do you think of the back four yesterday? Would you agree with my ratings for the back four? And welcome to the show.
Hi.
As Brian Maguire demanded you, so demand the viewers speak. Demand will be given. So
we give the people what they want. You know, what can we say?
Yeah, I know. Maybe I should just come off the stream and let you just run it yourself, Mia. I think people might like that too.
Oh, don't be silly. Why are you being like that, fool? Don't be silly.
So what would you give your back? Would you agree with my ratings for the back four, Mia?
Yeah, I'm not going to give ratings because if you want ratings, you have to come on my show tomorrow morning.
Mm,
But yeah, I think the backline did really well yesterday. They looked very composed
mm,
and didn't really let much through. Not that it was a bit of a weird combo because it
mhm.
weren't like Crystal Palace attacked a lot, but any attacks they did do, we dealt with basically. I
Mm.
felt I felt we dealt with them well.
Yeah, I think so too. And where do you know? I thought Romero was immense yesterday. To be fair,
He
I
was
really,
immense. He
he
was
was
very good.
cool. He was cool. He was cool. He was composed, and I thought his partnership with Longley was very good yesterday, and very. I thought it was great for the future. I mean, he's up for 12 million, Mia. I'd buy him. Would you?
Yeah, no, I think he did everything he was supposed to do.
Mm.
Yesterday, Romero, he was absolutely brilliant. He really was. And with Long Lane next to him, he didn't have to bloody worry about having that donut to worry about.
Yeah, don't worry. I'm getting on to him in a minute. Don't worry. Well, listen, I'm going to go to the midfield now. I've got Paro, Højbjerg, Skipson. Look, I thought as a midfield four, I thought they were very good yesterday. I thought Skip was very good. We've just got our Queen Ellie just popped in. How are you, Ellie?
All right.
Ellie, do you want to give your ratings very quickly for the back four? Are you there, Ellie? Okay, Ellie's not there, so we'll have to take I don't know if Ellie, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
We can hear you now. Do you want to give
Good,
your
good.
ratings for the back four quickly before we move on to the midfield?
Yeah, back four, Emerson, 7.5. Romero, 10. He deserves a 10. Longley, 8. Davis, 6.
I thought Davis was more than a six, Ellie. I'll give him a 7 or a
And
7.5. I
you
thought
know,
he was solid.
you know why I'm giving him a 6? Because he wasn't getting forward enough. He's doing good defensively. All right, I'll give him a 7. I'll give him a 7. He deserves a 7, actually.
Yeah. Now for me, the middle of the park for me was brilliant. We've got Paro, Højbjerg, Skip, and Son. I thought Paro was absolutely immense yesterday, up and down that wing like a blue ass fly. I thought Højbjerg was immense yesterday as well in the middle of pink. And please, I am going to start a new thing. Hashtag Højbjerg for captain. That's what I want.
Nice one.
No, definitely not Højbjerg for captain. Stuff that. Højbjerg to get sold. Off he can trot.
Okay, well,
No
you've got
way.
2 Højbjerg lovers here and one not. So we're in the go. Skippy, I thought Skippy had a good game yesterday as well. And I'll tell you, Sonny's defensive work for me was
Yeah,
immense yesterday. He really
yeah.
did. So I'm going to give Perro 7. Højbjerg, I'm going to give Perro, sorry, 7.5. I'm going to give Højbjerg 7, Skippy 7, and I'm going to give Sonny 7.5. Mia, how did you think our midfield four worked yesterday?
See, I'm a bit disagreeing with you. I thought that Skippy had a bit of a dodgy game. I thought that he gave a few balls away. He looked a little bit shaky. He didn't
Yeah.
actually look super confident, I'm going to be honest. I think Højbjerg was okay, but I did think our midfield wasn't actually the best. We didn't control the game through the midfield at any point. It didn't really feel like they really had that control. Porro was fantastic. He is a really good player. Really, he's such a good little player. And I think Sonny is really showing back to what he could be. I think that shot though that he messed up when Romero
Yeah,
passed it. Oh
yeah.
man, I was like, no, what are you doing? But yeah, apart from that, I think actually they did. I think they did. I think they did good. The wingers did good, but
Yeah,
the actual midfield I thought wasn't that impressive.
yeah.
I'm going to be honest.
Yeah, Ellie, what would you give the midfield for their ratings? Now, do you make a very good point, Mia? Very quickly, Ellie. Mia, I want to come back
Yeah,
on that after Ellie's given her quotes because I've got 2 questions for each of you about our midfield. But Ellie, go on, give us your
yeah.
player ratings for the
I
midfield.
agree with Mia about the midfield. They weren't dynamic and they weren't controlling it really. But they did a decent job, but it wasn't dynamic. You know what I mean? Skip I agree, did give the ball away quite a few occasions, but they're too similar, Højbjerg and Skip. It's not working. They need to get another person, maybe put Papasar in with Skip or Højbjerg, mix it up a bit. But Porro, yeah, fantastic. I loved him. Sonny's defensive work again, like you mentioned, guys, brilliant. He did muff up that chance. He took too much touches for my liking. He should have chipped it over the goalie when he had the chance. But in terms of the points, I'll give Porro an 8, Højbjerg a 6, Skip a 6, and Sonny an 8 for his hard work.
Look, I actually disagree with you two about the midfield, and I'll explain why I disagree with you. I thought it was a very much workman-like performance in the middle. It wasn't brilliant, but it wasn't bad, and I thought defensively they worked as a unit, and I thought that was what we needed. They defended as a unit and they attacked as a unit. I thought for me, Sonny was brilliant yesterday with his defensive work and also getting back. And I do agree with you, Mia. He is getting back to what he used to be, and that's a good sign for next season. As for Skippy and Højbjerg, I think they can play together. They've played together last season and they played together brilliantly last season. So they can do it. I think what was probably off for Skippy yesterday was the bandage around his head. I think he was conscious about that. I think also Højbjerg, we've used him a lot this season. He's tired.
Yeah.
And we are missing Bentancur in that middle of the pitch. So but Skippy and Højbjerg did a good job yesterday, and Perro for me was immense. He is now. You could play him as at the back, or you can play him on the wing. We have bought ourselves a little gem here. We really have. Mia, look, I've given my reasons why I thought the midfield played well yesterday. Do you think it was good to see a back four and a full midfield that they defended together, but they also attacked? They worked as a unit, which we haven't seen so far this season in the middle of the park.
See, I didn't think we did though, because the midfield was a bit destroyed. Like I say, they kept losing the ball. They didn't really join up the back to the midfield to the front. Like that's not really how we could do it, because we kept losing the ball in the middle of the midfield. So I don't think defensively they were slightly better, but I still think that they weren't fantastic at all yesterday. I think that they were really disappointing actually, because we haven't got that Bentancur who's good with the ball at his feet, who can pass the ball and quickly and confidently take the ball confidently. We miss Bentancur massively. So in that midfield, we are really lacking when we've got Skip and Højbjerg together. I agree with Ellie, they're too similar, and that's why it just don't really work that well. So I don't think particularly they were that good yesterday, I'm going to be honest.
Yeah, well, that's my look. I'm great. We have different opinions. It's great that we all have different opinions on this. It makes it interesting, because I saw it completely different to you two, which is great, which we will get back onto this in a minute. Now I'm going to the front two. I'm going to give Richarlison a 6 and Kane, I'm going to give him an 8. Why I'm giving Richarlison a 6? Because I thought his decision-making yesterday was damn awful. He wasn't getting into the right positions. He was running around like a headless chicken. That's my opinion. I thought he had an awful game. And that's why I'm giving him a 6. I thought Kane done brilliantly, got the goal, got the winner, went second in the all-time Premier League goal scoring charts. So he's on now 209. So he's now gone ahead of Wayne Rooney, and now he's on the march to break Alan Shearer's Premier League record. Ellie, I'll start with you and then I'll go to you, Mia. What do you give the ratings up front for Richarlison and Kane?
Yeah, I agree with you about Richarlison. He was running around like a headless chicken. I think he looked a bit lost yesterday. It was almost like he was thinking, why ain't they passing to me? Because you weren't making the runs, Richarlison. You weren't making the right decisions to get yourself into space. He was waiting for it to happen rather than make it happen, if you know what I mean. Kane, I'll give Richarlison a 6. I agree with you on that. All right. Kane, I'll give a 9. Do you know why I'm giving him a 9? Because that ball he played to Porro was worth a 9. It was absolutely weighted beautifully. and that is not an easy ball to pass
No, it's
because
not.
it was at height and he chopped it, and the weight on it, and it fell perfectly. And then he has the guile and the effort to get into the box and score that brilliant header. Gave the goalie no chance. So I'm giving him a 9.
Yeah, Mia, look, I know you're doing your rating show in the morning, so it's no point asking you ratings. But on Kane and Richarlison, can they make a? Can you see a striking partnership being linked up? And if not, who would you like to see play with Kane?
I think that with them two, they did kind of swap. So it wasn't actually like the way that the formation was kind of interchangeable
Hmm.
when you watched it. So Richarlison sometimes went and Kane stayed back, and then they swapped it over and they moved about a little bit. It was a bit more of a free flowing kind of
Hmm.
way that we played. So it wasn't necessarily too up top, but yeah, I think it's good to have them on the pitch together, because I think Richarlison definitely needs more time, and he needs it to be able to sort of get that match sharpness. And he has, he has had injuries this season. I feel a bit bad for him. So I would like to see him be given more of a chance, if I'm honest, because I do feel like he should be given a bit more of a chance.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Look, for me, I thought Richarlison for me was off yesterday. I thought Kane dropped more into a number 10 role, if you know what I mean. Just behind Richarlison, he did a lot of dropping
Yeah.
back. And I think you could see Kane going into that 10 role as he gets on, as he goes now towards the end of his career. But yeah, Kane there on the, and the David Clark says he's where is it now? Where is it now? Oh yeah, Kane is the only striker to score 100 goals both home and away. A true superstar. He is. He really, really is. Right. So that is the start, and that's our ratings. Agree, disagree with us, whatever you like. I look, for me, overall, I thought the game was boring. Overall, for me, it was awful, but it was a workmanlike performance. We got a win. We got a clean sheet, which is important. And I want to go back to this defense, Mia, and I'll start with you on this. Look, it shows that we can defend without that garden, that 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 um that cone when we have him in defense. It proves we don't need Dyer. It proves when Dyer's not in the side, you play an Emerson, Romero, Longley, and a back four with the competent defenders and a confident goalkeeper. There was twice there that the ball came in and Foster come flying out of his goal, which you wouldn't get that under Hugo. And I think for me, I think the defenders were confident in their goalkeeper, and the goalkeeper was confident with his back four in front of him, and that fed off one another. I thought defensively we were immense yesterday. Do you know? Does that prove the point, Mia, that if you put a competent defender next to Romero, you're going to get the performance you got yesterday from him?
Yeah, and I do think so, but I think we couldn't do it before, because without Emerson, I think it don't work. We have to have an Emerson there, because I think Emerson is very good defensively. But yeah, it definitely works with Longley next to him and Emerson next to him. He doesn't have to panic and make those rash decisions, because I feel like he makes those rash decisions because of the pressure, but he has to handle pressure better sometimes as well, and learn not to make those mistakes, because those mistakes are his. And I don't give him no excuses for it. But yeah, I do think that going forward, that is, it is good to have them at the back and feel like they're a bit more competent. Absolutely.
And I thought Emerson was immense yesterday. I thought he
was
brilliant.
brilliant.
He was brilliant yesterday. It was great to see him back. Look, Ellie, if we sort out we got Destiny coming back in. So if you have an Emerson, Romero, Longley, and Destiny as your back four, Pero, Højbjerg, Bentancur, Sonny is your middle of the four in the middle up front, and then Kane and Richarlison stroke somebody else. And of course, a new goalkeeper. Probably, I would love for us to go and get Bazuma from Southampton. I've seen him so many times playing for Ireland, and my Jesus, that man, he's good with his feet. He's very commanding of his area. Do you think if we get rid of the likes of Davis and put Bentancur into the middle, and get a few players in the summer, we've really got the nucleus of a brilliant side here, haven't we?
Yeah, we have. I mean, Davis he's signed the contract, hasn't he? And so he's going to be a squad player at
Yeah.
best. But in terms of the overall look of the team, it's going to be a lot stronger next season. And if we get that Cam as well, I think. Do you know what? I'd love to see Basuma come back with Benny, because Basuma's fantastic. He can hold the ball a lot better and pass it a lot more crisper than Skip and Højbjerg. Right, so he just has to find his form, the boy. So I'd like to see that partnership actually, with Porro and Son on the outskirts, with Udogie as left wing back. Yeah, I think it'll work and it'll be more exciting. That's one thing for sure. But one thing I wanted to point out about Romero, he trusted the other two players either side of him, and it showed because he was so calm, cool and collected, because he saw the other two boys were playing particularly well as well, and he had that faith in them, which he doesn't have when Dyer's there, and he panics and he has to cover a lot of the mistakes that Dyer makes. You see, so yeah, I think it'll work well.
Yeah. Ellie, can you turn off your notifications, please? Just put your phone on silent.
Yeah. Sorry about
because
that.
it's coming through onto the stream. Sorry.
Yeah, the
sorry.
Twitter.
Yeah.
Mad.
Anyway, this is now the race for Europe. I've done the top 8 from 4th to 8th: Man United, Liverpool, Tottenham, Brighton, and Villa. Mia, can I start with you first on this? Now, we got Man United on 63 in 4th, Liverpool on 62 in 5th. We're on 57. Then you got Brighton 55, Villa 54. Out of all the teams there, do you think Brighton could be the oil in the ointment? They've got 3 games in. Is it 3 games in hand now over us? They've got 3 games in hand over Villa, and also Man United and Liverpool. 55 points. Could Brighton be an outside shout for Champions League football if the other teams sort of go on a, balls up? Or what do you think? Do you think Brighton could be the oil in the ointment to stop us getting European football next season?
I can see them getting maybe 6th, but I don't think they're going to push on to get 4th. I really don't. I don't think they've got that much in them to do that yet. I think that they're progressing, so I think that it's a work in progress with Brighton. So I can't see them doing that, but I can see them jumping above us, because they've got games in hand, absolutely. And if we don't beat Villa, then we could go below Villa as well. So yeah, of course, that's a possibility, absolutely.
Do you think the Villa game is the most important game of the season for us next Saturday now? That we have to beat Villa to get any type of European football next season. If we win, we're into the shout for the last game of the season. If we lose against Villa, could that be curtains for European football for us next season?
Yeah, I think so. I don't think it's the most important one, because I think that I already accepted we wouldn't be in Europe anyway next season. If I'm completely honest, season was done a few weeks ago for me in that way. So if we did, it'll be like an extra thing that I didn't think we would get. But yeah, I think Brighton, I agree with Ben, they're a brilliant side, but I just don't know if they've got enough to get top 4 is what I'm saying. It's not that I don't think they're great, because they really are good.
Yeah, Ellie, David, the lady, I'm coming to you with a question in a minute, Ellie. I've got a gem of a question for you. The ladies show, we're planning on, I haven't talked to Ellie yet, but we are looking to get something out for the end of the season.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm got in my head for the end, doing end of season review. So please keep your thoughts to that, and we will get that out at the end of the season for you. We're looking to make some changes for next season. So there will be a new podcast, new design, new intro, new way of doing it. And we're gonna go big on it next season. So David, holding your hats, Ellie will be back with that next season. Ellie, Villa. Now Villa 35 points, 54 points, 35 games played, 54 points. And we're on 57 out of 35.
Yeah.
Goal difference, there's only 4 goals in between us. Could this come down to goal difference for European football next season?
Very well. Yeah, it could do. Yeah. You know what? That Villa game is very, very important now, because if we win it, it's like a 6-pointer to us, because there'll only be 2 games left. and we've got a superior goal difference, and it will improve if we win. So that is a massive game for us, because we can secure 6th place rather than 7th, hopefully, if Brighton start cocking up. But I can't, you know what, Brighton like in a reign of form. So, and that League Cup, FA Cup defeat to Man United's made them even more determined to push on. So either way, we're going to get 6th or 7th. I can't see us getting top 4. No way.
Oh, that's gone, Ellie. That's sold. That boat's
isn't it?
No,
we can actually get 66 points. Is that right? We can get 66 points, but the other teams have to cock up drastically for that to happen.
That boat has sailed long ago for us. I've given up on top 4 a long time ago.
Mathematically it hasn't, but realistically it has. I agree with you.
Yeah, really it has. Mia, look, we're Man United is going to be at Man United and Liverpool, I think, for top 4. But could we get? Are we in the? What? Look, we're sort of. There seems to be 2 different races here happening: the top 4 and the race for Europa League and Conference League.
Yeah.
Now, look, you may have different opinions about us not being in Europe next season. You think we should be. I think we haven't earned it by our performances, which I do get what you're saying, Mia, and I do understand your opinion, and it's a very valid point you're making. So I do get what you're saying. But say if we go into the Conference League, say, do you think we go into it this time with the attitude of winning the damn thing, like we didn't under Jose, where we actually took it like a bit of a joke? Do you know what I mean? And also, if we get into the Europa League, it's another chance for us to get into the Champions League for the following season. So if we're going to go into these European competitions, do we just go into it with the attitude, right, we're going to win this competition. We're good enough. We're going to win this competition. On the side of that, Ben Kaufman says, I want no European football next year. Our squad has nowhere near depth to challenge for it. 1 game a week, we build the side like the Woolwich did. So it seems to be a bit split down the middle, this Spurs for Europe, Spurs not in Europe. But if we do go into either of the competitions, Mia, do you think we have to go into the challenge of, right, we're going to win this damn thing?
Yeah, of course. Like when you look at Jose, he wasn't too good to win the Conference League, and that got them into Europe. And if they win, then they get into the Champions League. So because it's going to be harder to get into those top 4 spots now, it's a way into it. So of course we should take them seriously. We should take all the cups seriously. It doesn't matter what cup it is, we should take it seriously.
But Mia, we haven't though, have we? We haven't taken the FA Cup seriously. We don't take the League Cup seriously.
But that's the players who don't take it. The players, exactly. I understand what Ben's saying about not like with the squad and stuff. But I do think as well, the way that we've been set up in those games hasn't set us up to to win. Like, and players haven't been put on their best performance. But absolutely, we should go in there to win them.
But to be fair, with the Conference League, we did get thrown out by Europe, by UEFA, by the COVID. We had COVID, didn't we?
Yeah.
So technically, we weren't given a chance to compete in that competition, though we did balls it up ourselves. We should have been well into the next round when the last game really should have anything to do with it. Last question on this, Mia, before I go on to our remaining fixtures and end off the show. Look, but for me, we've got Villa, we've got Brighton. Do you think top 5 could be in our reach, Ellie, or do you think we should be just looking at 6th and 7th in the league, just qualify for Euro, even the Conference League, just because it's any sort of European football? What's your thoughts on it next season? Do we deserve to be in Europe, or don't we deserve to be in Europe?
But while there's a chance, you've got to go for it. We've got to get as many points as we can, Dermot, because Liverpool could cock up again. You don't know. Football's a funny old game sometimes. When you think you've sealed it and you don't. And sometimes you think you haven't and you do. So it all depends on how the other teams progress as well, because all we've got to do is win our matches. and then hope for the best in terms of the other teams. You know, I just feel I want to get Europe just so that we can take it seriously this time and put our best team out and really go for it, Dermot, because we need the trophy in the cabinet as well, and it creates a good feeling around the club when you win trophies. And we haven't won one for 15 years. So, and like you said, it's a route to the Europa Cup if we get conference, and it's a route to Champions League if we make Europa and win it. Yeah.
As Bill Nick once says, a season without European football for Tottenham is not good enough. Tottenham need to be in Europe, and I sort of agree with what he says. Look, very quick question on this, guys. Mia, where do you think we'll finish at the end of the season?
Honestly, I do think we're going to finish 8th. If that's, I'm going to be completely honest.
Ellie? Ellie? Are you there? Right. Ellie, can you hear us?
Yeah, I'm here. My husband was shouting, but he couldn't get out of his chair. Sorry.
Yeah, no, we did hear that.
He's got an electric chair and he couldn't get down.
Yeah, we did hear that, Ellie. We did hear him shouting for you.
I know.
Where do you think? God. Where do you think we'll finish in the league?
Realistically, I think we'll finish 7th. I don't want to, but that's where I think we'll finish.
I'm going to agree with Mia. I think we're going to finish 8th. I don't look. It stands by what I've said. It stands by what I'm saying. We don't deserve. We haven't earned European football. I know what you're going to say in that, Mia. And Liverpool have been shite this year. I get that, but I don't think we've earned it. But I agree with you, Mia. We're going to finish 8th, and look, we'll see what happens. Right, guys. Last thing before we end off the show is our remaining fixtures. Saturday, Mia, we're away to Villa, and then we're home to Brentford for the last home game of the season, and then we are away to Leeds United at the end on the 28th of May at 4:30. For me, I think I'm going to give first. I'm going to ask for how many points do you think we'll get for the last 3 games. I'm going for 6 points. I think we're going to get 6 points. I think we're going to lose against Villa. I think Villa will beat us. And I think we end the season with a win against Brentford and a win away at Leeds. I think Leeds will be done by then. I think they will be relegated. Mia, the Villa game for me has always been the worry one out of the tree. Where do you see how many points do you think we'll get for the end of the season, and where do you think we'll get them?
I think in 7 points. I think we're going to draw with Villa, win against Brentford, and win against Leeds.
Yeah. And Ellie, where do you see us at the end of the next 3 games? Where do you think we're going to get?
I think we'll get 5. I think we'll draw at Villa, beat Brentford, and draw at Leeds.
Okay. And just a quick on the sub note, do you think Everton will go down this season, Mia? Do you think we will finally see Everton get relegated this season?
I hope. Do you know what? It'd be actually pretty sad because they're a pretty big team to get relegated. They've got more big trophies than what we have, so they're quite a big club historically. And with the money, they're going to end up being really in big trouble, and they could go broke. I mean, we don't want to see no club go broke, so probably not really. And that sounds like a bit sentimental, but you know.
No, I agree with you. Everton have never been relegated from a top flight league. I think there's only 6 clubs that have never been relegated. Arsenal cheated their way into the league, so they cheated it. Ellie, do you think Everton could go down this year?
There's a strong possibility, but like me, I like Everton. I've got a soft spot for them. I wouldn't want to see them relegated.
No,
they're a lovely club.
Yeah, for me in the 80s, it was always Liverpool against Everton, wasn't it? Especially the 86 Cup final, the first Merseyside derby in 89 as well. So look for me, that's the end of the show of my game thoughts. I was going to do it solo, but people in the chat demanded me bring on guests, so I brought them on. Mia, do you want to give your channel a very, very quick plug?
Yeah, if you don't know, then give your head a wobble. Go over to Spurs Between the Lines.
Yeah,
Great stuff.
everyone get over there. Listen, thank you so very much for joining me for this show. I hope you enjoyed it. Please hit that like button, subscription button on the way out. We will be back. There will be a podcast out this week. We're looking to get a special guest on for that. For me and Philip, we're doing that one. We will be back in the week with more shows. So whatever you do, enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Go and enjoy it with your family. Let's all rejoice in the Spurs win. And come on, you Spurs, in someone we trust.
In the fans we trust.
I was waiting for you, Mia.
Always.